Indeed. And joining us now in the studios, Dorlissa Hutton, CEO, and Angela Evans, the Marketing and Community Relations Director. Is that right?
That's right.
That's correct.
Okay, got that right. All right, for SR1, which is College Prep and STEM Academy. Good to have you folks in the studio here today.
And thank you for having us this morning.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the school itself. It is a charter school, correct?
Yes.
All right, so explain that for our audience.
Okay, and if I could, let me just tell a little bit about the organization.
Yeah, sure.
SR1 is a 501c3 nonprofit. We focus on eliminating disparities in education, health, and technologies. And so, keeping aligned with our mission, that's where our school, the SR1 CPSA charter school, comes into focus. We're going to start with K and first grade students beginning in 2023-2024 school year. We will enroll 75 kindergartners and 75 first graders. And we're looking, and our focus is STEM. STEM is a growing industry in the U.S. and also in Mississippi. We want our students to be prepared. We focus on college preparatory, but we also focus on those long-term life and career goals. So with our STEM Academy, we will prepare students starting in kindergarten, lay that foundation, and continue to grow with them throughout.
Yeah. So where do the students come from?
Okay. So for the charter school, the students are eligible to come from Canton Public School District, Yazoo City, Yazoo County Public School District, Lee County. The way the charter law was written for Mississippi, any student who's in a surrounding district that is a C or below on the accountability rating, those students are eligible to attend.
Okay. And in fact, our charter school can only locate in such a district.
That's correct.
In accordance with law.
That is correct.
Yep. So this will be your first session, right, coming up this fall, first year?
Well, we'll
right?
have a planning year for 22 through 23, and then our first enrollment year will be the school year of 23 to 2024. So want to get that good plan laid down so we will be more than prepared for our students and also our parents. We want to make this not just a model school for the state of Mississippi, but also for the U.S.
All right. What would the grade equivalents be?
The grade equivalent?
Yeah, the grades.
Okay,
yeah.
So we'll start with kindergarten and first.
Okay.
With charter law, when you are awarded your charter, you're awarded a 5-year charter. So it varies with what grades you can serve, but we've decided to serve K through 5 in our first charter.
Okay. All right. And so when we talk about these schools being STEM academies, STEM schools, are they full scope institutions, educational institutions, where you're teaching the full gambit, but with a focus on STEM?
That is correct. So charter schools in the state of Mississippi still fall under the Mississippi Department of Education accountability.
Yep.
But we will be heavily STEM infused, so they still will have those core content standards that they have to meet according to the Mississippi Department of Education, but we will have a heavy infused STEM curriculum with that.
What would the typical student be that would have an interest in attending this particular school, in particular that has an interest in STEM and wants to focus on that?
Exactly. So our parents and our students who have an interest are, first of all, those who see and want a desire for their children to attend college. Also, for those parents and students who have a desire just to have something different, something hands-on. You know, we learn by doing.
Yeah.
And so we will be heavily hands-on and creative and innovative with our curriculum design.
Okay. So what are you doing to get the word out?
So that's Miss Angela, and she does a great job with that.
Well, we're right here on your show right now.
Exactly.
And, you know, we've been reaching out to all of the media, spreading the word, and also focusing on these communities as well, the local newspapers. We want to have some meetings upcoming, and also just go into the places where the parents might be, you know, the child care facilities, the preschools, the libraries, just, you know, anywhere where we can find the parents and the students and get them interested in this, excited this, and know that this is an option for their child, that this is going to be in this Madison County area serving all these other students, that it's available for them, and you just need to apply.
Yeah. What's been the response so far? Been positive?
It has been positive. Yes, we've had a lot of excitement from parents. You know, when you start this, you're not really sure, you know, what the response might be, but it has been overly positive. We've been getting a lot of phone calls from parents seeking more information, and not just for the students that will be in that kindergarten and first grade year, but even younger students, even preschool age. You know, what do I need to do now to get ready for when they come up? So you know, a lot of parents and students are excited this is going to be in these communities and serving these kids in another option and getting them prepared for the future. And
yeah. So, Dorlissa, you said a minute ago about it being kind of STEM infused. I like that. It's a good way to describe it. So, how does the curriculum differ? Are there more courses focused on science, technology, engineering, math, or is it just maybe a higher level in the existing courses? Explain the difference there.
Well, what we're looking at and what we found, even as the nonprofit when we're serving our K through 12th grade students, is the belief that STEM can't be introduced into high school.
Yeah.
So we have definitely changed that train of thought. So the curriculum itself will just be heavily infused. So for science, for instance, usually students really aren't seeing science into those upper elementary ages. We're going to implement science indoors and outdoors. Those math activities will be more project-based learning to start developing those critical thinking skills at an early age. We sometimes forget that those skills have to be developed.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
And one thing that we always look at, failure is sometimes looked upon as a bad thing, but think about it. How would scientists, how would IT people such as yourself, if there wasn't failure? Go again. Let's see what's wrong in that engineering process. So we're going to start those steps early so students understand that failure and starting over and learning from your mistakes is not bad. It's actually going to help propel them for the future. So we're definitely looking forward to that. But it would be a combination of indoors and outdoors and just expanding using project-based learning.
Yeah, that's awesome because all of those disciplines and all of those disciplines, even at a professional level, they do involve constant failure and constant rework and improvement. It's just part of it because often you're creating something new.
Exactly. The iterate process will be something that they're going to learn.
Yeah. We used to call them whiteboard sessions in business, and we just have constant whiteboard sessions and put all the brain trust in a room, and we come out. And sometimes we get in the middle of a project, and we'd have what we call design bust. Oh, this isn't going to work, and you didn't anticipate that. And you know what? You have to come up with a plan to get back on track.
That's it.
And that's just part of it.
That's it. And we want that skill to be there from the beginning.
That's awesome. Yeah. You know, the other thing I would say is even, and this is just an observation to get your take on it, even if a student who attends the academy decides not to enter that field, I believe that learning this logical, critical thinking applies across a gambit of jobs.
It does. That's one thing we say even with our students. If they choose not to go into a STEM field, whether they go into education, whether they go into business, it's just going to help prepare them for that field. But there's no field today that you're not going to use the skills that you learn in STEM.
You're absolutely right.
So those processes are important. And so, like you mentioned, no matter what their major will be in college, no matter what their career choice, they will be able to pull from what they have learned.
Yeah, and hopefully the parents of these students recognize that as well, and that's what attracts them.
Yes, I think that's what Angela has been seeing, especially with the parents who have expressed interest, whether now or, like she mentioned, I have a 3-year-old, but you know, what do I need to do now? It's because they see the value. Yeah. And as Angela mentioned, it's just another option, but it's a good option for parents and their students, and we're very excited.
Oh, I bet. And I can see this growing. This won't be the end.
Yes.
Yeah, this is going to grow.
And with supporters like yourself, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys know as well as I do, in terms of the job opportunities and the job market in general, the demand dramatically exceeds the supply. We can't produce enough.
That's it.
And we need the next generation to be trained and developed in these skills to solve future human problems. That's really what this is all about.
And especially with our Mississippi economy, we need that workforce. We have a lot of green space, and look, we're ready for the businesses to come.
Totally agree. And I believe that businesses, upon finding out about this, and as we'll be promoting this, knowing that we are preparing that workforce of the future, they'll be more inclined to select Mississippi as a place to open up shop.
And that's so true.
Yeah.
That's kind of one thing we looked at and thought about, you know, not just the short term, starting in elementary school, but once these kids reach adulthood, you know, we don't want the brain drain. You know, we want
absolutely. And that's the next thing.
You know, these kids could be the next head of a tech company
Absolutely.
or
Exactly.
research facility or a leader in medicine, and we want them to stay here instead of going somewhere
Totally
else.
agree. You know, our auditor's got a huge focus on that as well, and he was on the show a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it, but I'm with you. This is great. Appreciate you ladies coming in and joining us on Middays. Congratulations, and look forward to great things coming out of SR1.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back here on Middays. We've got more talk coming your way, and we've got Colonel Randy Ginn from the Mississippi Highway Patrol at 11:05.